Today's Wednesday, December 7th, 2016, and you know what time it is. Get ready.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you, everybody. Good to be here. Yes, it is great to be here. We took off last week due to basically being tired, exhausted, and not having a whole lot of show stuff out there to talk about. But it is good to be back. We do have a show for you today with some good information to share, and for some reason, I've got what in the world? I've got some kind of like exclamation point up. Man, when are the spammers and when are the people that are trying to infect our computers just going to give it a rest, huh? They got way too much time on their hands. Anyway, good to be back. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, great Turkey Day, and enjoyed yourself. Spent it up in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, had a great time, and just a lot of fun. It was just really short, unfortunately. I wish it were longer. So by the time I had gotten back, I was exhausted, and it literally took me a week I had to get through last week, and then literally this past weekend was busy, and my middle son is doing wrestling, so that's new to me and something I'm having a hard time with, and it's exhausting. And anyway, long story short is I'm still tired, and tonight is the Chicago Elevator Association holiday party downtown. Looking forward to seeing many of you who have flown in for the event, also those that are just in the Chicagoland area. Regardless, it should be nice. It's at the Dana Hotel and Spa down in Chicago. Looking forward to that. But by the end of the day, I am going to be wiped out. I guarantee it. So happy holidays. I hope everybody just takes a deep breath, doesn't let the holidays, kind of affect them if you can. It's obviously it's the end of the year time for many of us, and that in itself can be its own hecticness where we kind of wish it wasn't so hectic, but it is what it is, and just hang in there as weather kind of beats us down a little bit. And if you got the opportunity to do any kind of educational programs or you need continuing education credits, check out NASA International's website. They've got some great upcoming programs in Florida. They're pretty smart about making sure that there are some opportunities to go get warm and warm the bones during some colder times for those of us who are in colder temperatures until the second week in June. And so take advantage of those opportunities if you do need continuing education credits. Also, NAC does have their spring conference coming up in the spring of 2017. So check that out, and links you can find by Googling them. So anyway, got a good show for you today. We'll get you in and out in no time. And as always, thanks for tuning in today, and make sure you are safe out there. So up next, we'll get right into the news.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, this is kind of 2 weeks worth of news articles. Not a ton to talk about, but hey, just as a reminder, and I just lost my train of thought. Just as a reminder, I can't remember. Oh, it's a prize pack giveaway today. Yes, one of you is going to be walking away or receiving you're not really going to be walking away with anything, but you'll be receiving from me a $100 Visa gift card, which is as good as hard, cold cash, I would have to say. and along with some great goodies that have been donated by the companies that are listed in the show notes. I encourage you to check that out. It's over at elevatorradioshow.com, and it is show number 449. This is week 12/7/2016. It's kind of neat that next week will be 450, and that will be our anniversary show. And I always get confused what year it is. Yeah, I know. I'm an idiot. I know. So started in 2006. 10 years. I feel like I've been saying we've had our 10-year anniversary for the last 3 years. Anyway, I'll have it figured out by next week, and we'll kind of do a recap on where we are at. Okay, first news article of the show. This is kind of a surprise for me. Kind of popped up in some of the news aggregators, but it was posted this morning through the Nikkei Asian Review. Japan's Nidec grabs U.S. elevator maker, and when I read the headline on that, I'm like, I wonder who that's going to be, and I kind of figured it was. I had no idea, but it was actually Canton Elevator. So Canton Elevator has been sold to Nidec, which is a pretty large Japanese Japanese motor company. They do servo motors, all sorts of stuff. So congratulations to Canton, and that's a pretty big sale in the elevator manufacturing marketplace. So anyway, link is in the show notes here. I'm sure you'll learn a little bit more about that in the future. I doubt anything will truly change, as most of these things don't change too often. When changes like that, when purchases like that happen. So yeah, it was kind of that's the news story of this of today. So yeah, check it out. Link is in the show notes. Okay, some sad news to report. There were a few deaths that around the country that occurred. I couldn't list them all, and I wish I didn't have to go through ads. This one was actually posted in mainstream media. Millie DeZiel, downtown elevator operators in Minneapolis, was everybody's friend and showed up to work each and every day in a white suit and white gloves, and took probably millions of people up and down in the building that she worked in. And she passed away at the age of 90, and I am certain that she will be missed. And I would kind of think that perhaps the elevator operation might be changed to automatic. But yeah, she will be missed. I'm glad it's nice to read about people who love their job and who who take pride in that kind of in their work, and as something as what you and I might think is mundane, to her it was a pleasure. It was something she loved, and so thank you, Millie, for all your years of hard work. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like you're reading more people who are passing away, which is a little sad, unfortunately, but it's inevitable. So, okay, The Real Deal, South Florida Real Estate News, has an article that really doesn't. It's not necessarily elevator related, but it is kind of bringing to light, that construction sites obviously are dangerous. And steps definitely need to be taken to ensure that everybody goes home at the end of the day. Apparently, a worker was injured when let's see here. Yeah, he was injured. I don't know. Oh, he had stuff fall on him is what happened. And so when stuff fell on him, he couldn't really do a whole lot. And unfortunately, couldn't use the elevator. They had to use a crane to get him down. And we hope he makes a speedy recovery. Okay, next news article. In Canada, I don't know if you guys remember this accident that occurred, but it not really elevator related, but what's interesting in the headline here, CBC News is reporting a mining deaths criminal trial is the first in Canada, law experts say. I'm not sure. I'm sure there have been criminal trials here in the United States, but it's not typically the way things go when there's an accident, and this one sounds pretty darn awful. A fatal accident at the Metanor Resources Bachelor Lake mine 7 years ago was the worst workplace accident in Quebec in the last 35 years. Apparently, and the prosecution of a company charged with criminal negligence causing death has gone to trial for the first time in Canadian history. These are drowning deaths where miners took the elevator down The elevator was submerged. Their elevator cab was submerged, and they drowned. So it's awful, and something that should have been prevented. And it's hard to believe that something like this could happen in today's workplace environment, no matter what country you're in. Well, I guess especially Canada and the United States. So, okay, escalator. Oh, I don't have that one linked up. Sorry. The title of this one is Escalator Reverses in New Delhi, India, and injures 4. So I'll try to get that relinked up before I post the show notes. Greenwich, Greenwich Time has a news article. .com. Most elevators in Greenwich overdue for inspection. About 60% of the public elevators in Greenwich are past their inspection date, and this is in Connecticut, not in any other place. And the reality is that of the 502 non-residential elevators in town, about 300 of them are overdue at any given time. Inspection supervisor at Connecticut Bureau of Elevators. We just don't have enough inspectors. Look how many elevators are just in Greenwich alone. It's not a large area, but there's so many elevators that have been installed in that town in such a short amount. And just goes to comment on the state law that requires that they be inspected every 18 months. And you know what? It seems like this should be a pretty simple. There should be a pretty simple solution. Make the Elevator Inspection Bureau one that is funded by the permit process and by the actual inspection process. Is it that difficult to do? I mean, if you're charging $65 for an elevator inspection, but say you increase that price so that it pays for the inspections and the inspectors that are required to inspect that many units. I mean, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like it should be that difficult. I don't understand why there's such a why it's so hard. This is not an uncommon issue across the United States. So, yeah, let's do some math, do some bookkeeping, figure out how you can at least break even. Because I would say that I would probably imagine that 11 inspectors to inspect 17,000 elevators. It does, do the math. There should be some kind of math formula as to how to hire more people. And maybe I'm wrong on this. I don't think I am, but man, what elephant is in the room here that I'm not seeing? That this is like common sense, isn't it? Shouldn't it be? I don't know. I would think it'd be common sense, but what do I know? I just make elevator widgets, right? Right. Okay, couple rescued from elevator in burning building. Man, the footage from the fires that happened or occurred in
For more than 35 years prior.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate those. I am getting to the point where I may not link up show notes or actually show them because of that. Anyway, a couple was actually stranded in an elevator as buildings burned around them in that terrible fire in Tennessee. They were I don't know, there was some reference they were stuck in there for 15 minutes, and there was another one that said that it was 6 hours. I don't know which one's true, but just horrendous and scary. Glad they're okay, and they were definitely meant to live. Obviously, their building was not touched, but still kind of scary. Okay, 2 passengers hurt as MRT escalator malfunctions. Let's see if I can get through this without, this is coming from abs.cbn news. Imagine this might have happened when there was, overloading perhaps or whatever, maybe minutes, whatever. But link is in the show notes. You can look at it or watch it if you'd like. Come on, I just want to go back. I don't want all this stuff to load. Okay. Anyway, and let's see here. Okay, Washington Monument closed for repair. So they would kind of cover this article in the past, but they have a date of it taking at least 2 more years for the elevator to be repaired, fixed, or whatever. But there's some other projects that are involved with this modernization, including a security type entrance on the outside. So the reality is that it's more than just an elevator project. It is, from what I understand, it's running power directly to the unit, or putting a new power line in to help out with some of the issues that they've got. I don't really know, But yeah, it does seem kind of silly it'd be that long. But I think the process for going out for bid and specifying something and getting a consultant in there to make something that's going to last and not have issues is it's probably going to take a little bit of time. You want to do it right as well. But yeah, 2.5 years seems like a long time to put an elevator in. So. And the reason why it was linked up in today's show was there was a letter to the editor that was asking, like, Empire State Building was built in 13 months. How in the world does it take 2.5 years to put an elevator in? But there is no response to that. So anyway, motor fire strands, store worker inside smoky elevator car. This is scary. Mesa, Arizona. This is where this happened. Man, can you imagine? I don't know whether or not this was one of those issues or one of those elevators that had a shunt trip device on it or what, but or what happened. I'd be curious to know exactly what the particulars were that caused the elevator to stop, or if it was simply just the motor stopping, due to it overheating or burning up. I'd be curious to know what sequence actually occurred, because there are a lot of firefighters out there that do not want shunt trip devices on elevators because could stop and create an issue for firefighters to get out of an elevator. So, and I've heard it more often than not from firefighters say, "Oh, well, just get out." Well, it's not always that easy. So, okay, Washington Post has another article talking about the Trump Tower elevator cam, and it's from C-SPAN. It's become officially a reality TV channel. I mean, if the world, if we're so fascinated by who's going up to see Mr. Trump and Vice President Pence are elect, I mean, it's scary. I swear to you, it's scary. And a good friend of me shared it with me that 20%. I think 20% of the people in the world, or maybe 80%, maybe 90%. Should be eaten by zombies. When they come, right? Oh, man. Anyway. Okay, elevator pitch on escaping social media. How many of you out there think that there's an addiction when it comes to social media? How many of you out there? When it first came on the scene, I was like, Facebook, what is this? And I went through a time when I could not stop checking it. Is it addicting? Absolutely. It is so addicting for so many people that I don't think most people know it. It's almost like going to the movie theaters or the old movies where you go and you'd be suckered into buying popcorn and a huge Coke because something flashed on the screen you couldn't quite see, but your subliminal mind could. You know what I mean? So, it's overwhelming. It really is to think about all the different freaking stupid things that we are expected to keep up with. And it's like, man, I mean, my son's phone, who's a freshman, will buzz like a mother, like all night long. And I'm like, who in the world is, and it's those group texts and the Instagrams and we're basically creating a society or a generation of yahoos that can't print their name or can't sign their names because we've taken cursive out of the school rooms, and it's a little scary. And these are the people that are going to be taking care of us. They're going to put an iPad in front of us. We're in the nursing home, and they'll be texting us to see how we're doing. God. Just give me a gun, put me on a sailboat, and just stick me in the ocean. I will be glad to go and serve the rest of my, days like that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't think it's getting any better. I just don't. Because when it's an issue when the internet goes down or your phone's not working, and then it's like, oh my gosh. And then you take a step back and you're like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this as much, right? Right. Okay. Here's a news article coming from ppuglobe.com, and I don't know why it's quite, the title of it is not quite the same. It doesn't lead to a very well, I'm not going to say it. I don't know if there's an easy fix for broken elevators. That's just what I want to say. Apparently, this is a pretty lengthy article about elevators on a college, Point Park University, and how in some cases it's easy to reset the elevators to get them running again, but there's issues. But listen, I've gone to college. I've been at 3 different colleges, Elevators there are the worst. I mean, they're not the worst, but they get used a lot. And more often than not, I found myself using the stairs when you had a lobby filled with cattle just trying to get on and move up, 10 floors. Take the elevator if you can. How about that? Anyway. Okay, next news article, the important question, elevators or stairs. I didn't really read this, so it's not all that important to me. Kind of leads into my past, like my previous comment there, but feel free to read that on your own and interpret what you thought was important from it. All right, let's see here. Okay, body found in vacant building elevator. This occurred in, it's going to blast something at me. YMCA, get me out of here. Oh, I got to get out of here before it does that. At the Ramada vacant building, apparently. No foul play, I don't think, was found to be the factor in that, so that's good. And here's a great article. Letter to the editor. This did not happen in the United States, but let's take a step back. Let's make sure that we as human beings are there for each other. I'm going to say that because there was an instant where a friend of mine shared with me, this is a couple years ago, that they witnessed somebody either fall on an escalator and get hurt very badly, or they had a seizure and fell, or whatever. I wasn't quite sure what the circumstances were at a retail outlet, okay, by work, and nobody would do anything. Even the store manager came over and literally just said, don't touch him, don't touch him. And we have become such a litigious society that we've lost all, in many cases we've lost all touch with what is right and what we should be doing to help our fellow man and woman. Here's a letter, a letter to the editor. I would like to thank the ladies who came to my assistance when I fell off the escalator at the Bali de Bay Mall on Tuesday, November 15th. Unfortunately, I did not get their names. Also, the people that gathered to see that I was okay. It was nice to see that there are people who still care. You know what? Yeah, there are people that still care, and you can be one of them. We can all be one of them. Can make this world a better place. So I encourage you to do that. All right? And especially as we get into the holiday season. So, and that's going to do it for this week's show, everybody. Nice and simple, nice and sweet, nice and short. All right, we're going to give away our $100 Visa gift card in just a minute. I'm going to go log into our list of listeners, subscribers, all that good stuff, and random.org. Okay. Enter our minimum, maximum, and our list is growing, my friends. Nice to see. 4070. Go back to our list. Okay, so 4070 is a mechanic. Brett is a mechanic. Yep, that's who won it. Brett is from the state of California. Brett, congratulations on your $100 Visa gift card, and I will be emailing you shortly to confirm the address you'd like it to be sent to. So just know that I'm not somebody from Zimbabwe looking to transfer $1 million to your bank account. It's just $100. So anyway, as always, thank you so much for tuning into the show, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing many of you tonight at the Chicago Elevator Association holiday party. Try not to stress out if you don't have to. Put things in perspective and just enjoy life as best you can and be safe. Number one, be safe, because it can all end tomorrow. All right, everybody, you take care. Have a great rest of the week, a great weekend. Stay warm, stay safe, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.